What up? It's Ray V. Let's get it.
Sad boy
Quote of the day. F ain't for Fields, it's for fantasy. So let's get into our deepest fantasies, baby.
I'll give you a third for him, though.
We are finishing this damn draft, y'all. The fourth and final round of my rookie draft is finally here. So please enjoy the goated commentary. Just a reminder that this is a 2 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, tight end, 3 flex, 1 IDP league with 15 bench spots, 3 IR, and 4 taxi spots. I tried recording an analysis already for each and every team, but it was damn near an hour long when I finished recording and before the editing and stuff. So sorry, I can't add that onto this video. This is it's going to be tomorrow's video. Sorry to my league mates who I just ended up showing the videos to finally. Looks like you don't have that advice before the first waiver wire of the year. That's crazy. That's crazy how that happens. Alright, y'all, fourth round. It was done this morning. Let's get it. Let's get into this. I totally forgot to mention a trade that went down in the third round. And, it's funny because last video I forgot to mention a trade that went down in the second round, I'm pretty sure. But right here at the 307, it was Matty Ice's pick. He had this pick at 307, and he traded back with Mondo. He traded for the 408 and 2028 fourth. It's a good trade back, especially if he didn't have anyone in mind there. Me personally, we went over this all. I would have sticked and picked Ted Hurst right here. If I was my boy Matty Ice. Jacoby Lane is good, but I do have Ted Hurst over him. Whole thing yesterday, I was mixing up all my guys up. I just made that list, but that's what it was. So that is the only, technically I guess that's a trade for this round too, since he traded back into the fourth. But let's get right here into this. 401, it is his pick right here. Malachi Fields, Reese, and Josh Hitzenberger. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, don't know who this guy is. I'm sure he's a free agent signing. Sus. I don't really have too many notes on that one. I really thought, he had so many quarterbacks right here. The quarterbacks already, but I thought he would have took, obviously all the stuff I was saying for when he took Reese right here. But, Carson Beck was right here still. Hurst was right here. Any of those guys, you want to take a running back. I think Heidenreich and Adam Randall are my guys next. He's the McCaffrey guy. So, Kalon Black is still on the board right here. There's a bunch of, this is the rest of my queue. 29 guys. I could show them later. But, he got some McCaffrey, Kalon Black, just to back him up. If you don't like Heidenreich or Adam Randall. Very, very sus pick. Didn't love it there. Did not love it at all. Sorry, Saul. Didn't love this pick either. He had 3 picks this draft. He could have really came out the way the board fell. Right here, Ted Hurst, and you had the back-to-back, so you could have took Carson Beck, you could have took Brazel, could have took Skylar Bell. There's a few guys. Running back right here, you wanted either of these guys, you could have taken them, you could have had them. Looked like Matty Ice was always going to take an IDP right here, so right back to you. You get 3 in a row right there. These are all pretty good dart throws, all guys who have a chance. Heidenreich, Randall, Beck, Brazel, Skylar Bell right here. Whoever's in my queue still I can't think of. Kalon Black, Kevin Coleman, Bryce Lance, Brendan Thompson. I showed my boys my list today. I showed them my videos and stuff, so they definitely know that I'm high on these guys. Someone's definitely going to swoop Brendan Thompson from me. This is the next Tyreek Hill. They've been saying Tyreek Hill is going to be, I don't even remember who they're saying. Zachariah Brandt? They're saying one of those guys is the next Tyreek Hill or Tyreek Hill light. Nah, it's my boy Brendan Thompson right here. Mike McDaniel handpicked him, said he was going to take his shirt off. He did not take his shirt off, but he said he reminds me of Tyreek Hill and I want to use him like Tyreek Hill. And my boys are probably going to watch this video. We got our waivers on Wednesdays. Someone put 100 on him. Won't put 100 on him. Call my bluff. Put 100 fab on him. Call my bluff. Caleb Douglas right here. I don't think he needed a tight end. Sorry, I did a lot of tight end. Any of those guys, he could have took any of those other middling quarterbacks, and he would have been fine. Did Warren, Kittle, Hawkinson, likely, Tongus. Did not need another tight end. Samuel, I hated your pick. 4-2 right here. Damn, this guy looks like a genius. This guy had Ted Hurst fall to him at the 4-2. Damn, this guy is good. Who is this? V-Ray. Hey, me, I'm Ray V, right? But that's a good pick right there. He really fell. I don't think it's really fair that these guys wanted to have these drafts a little earlier. And, I'm a little on top of it. I'm definitely even more on top of it than I used to be. After our first year, our rookie drafts have always been 1 week after the draft. So it's 24 hours on the clock, 24 hour per pick. Y'all could do your research and stuff, but am I gonna take it lightly on them? Am I just gonna skip Ted Hurst and tell Matty, my boy Matty Ice, to go pick Ted Hurst and I skip him on purpose? Come on now. If he asked me up here who he should take, I would have told him Ted Hurst. But am I just gonna willingly leave Ted Hurst on the board for him to take? Nah, we ain't doing all that. I don't need to go through my team. It's cool. Matty Ice again, 4-3. I do not know who this guy is. Undrafted free agent, I'm assuming. Special teams upside. Yeah, that's what I read the other day. Sus. Very sus pick, Matty. Very sus pick. We wanted a running back. We got 2 running backs right here. Kalon Black. He definitely should have got drafted, but as a handcuff to McCaffrey. Even I probably should have drafted him, but I just felt like these guys have more ceiling, and I'm trying to three-peat, man. I don't really care about my future value right now. I'm just trying to get guys who I could use this season, get that three-peat, talk all that talk, That's why I skip Beck. I skip Beck so many times. It just depends on your team, your build, and how your league values people and how they trade and stuff. Especially me, back-to-back champion. These guys don't want to trade with me. These guys don't want to give me that three-peat there. I'm the enemy. They want to take me down. But this is a very horrible pick. This is a horrible pick, Matty. Even though you've been hyping me up after I showed these videos, and now I sent the first video to y'all. Horrible pick. I can't lie. I cannot lie to you. 404. This should be a lot quicker, and then I'll do a rundown of the teams because we're in the 4th round. Heidenreich. Genius pick. Who is this guy? This guy probably has a YouTube channel. 404. Heidenreich. Nice pick. That is probably the next best running back on the board besides Kalon Black and obviously Adam Randall right here. And they took him both of them. Heidenreich and Adam Randall. Guys go. Well, 404, 405, ain't no notes. Perfect. Just took the value on the board. I mean, the value was probably Carson Beck, but he took the best guy for his team. Best 2 guys right there. Got Ted Hurst in the 4-2. That's tough. That's tough. Good luck competing with that dude. All right, Carson Beck right here. Tomorrow got 2 picks. Chris Bell, Carson Beck. Great value picks. Probably both second round. I have Chris Bell around the 112-ish area, something like that. We're in only a 10-man league, so maybe like right here-ish. Even I was contemplating taking Chris Bell right here, but you know what I was saying. I got all my receivers. No need for that. I need to take my running back darts and back-to-back champion. Like I'll keep saying because I know these guys are listening now. Back-to-back champion. These guys don't want to trade with me, so I gotta take my running backs where I can get them. But Carson Beck right here, really good pick, very good value pick. He has Jacoby Brissett on the team already, so I'm surprised he didn't try to trade up into anywhere and try to get Carson Beck. I'm surprised that no one took Carson Beck and tried to trade it to him specifically, because that's what I would have, me personally, what I would have done. You guys seen my mock draft videos and stuff. That's exactly what I would have done. I would have taken Carson Beck and I would have walked up to this guy and said, you got Jacoby Brissett, bro. You got Riley Leonard on your team. You got Lamar Jackson. You got Kyler Murray. You got 3 guys right here. So Jacoby Brissett doesn't even have a contract, right? Or he's not going to play on this contract. He wants more money. They're beefing right now. Carson Beck could start this season, salesman. You could have done all of that, and you probably could have got, something out of it. You could have got a trade out of it, especially if Brissett really doesn't play or he really waits until the last day of camp and he's not all ready and stuff, and he starts off slow, Riley Leonard, I guess he could start. I don't really know what's up with Indy right now. Obviously, they want Daniel Jones back as fast as possible, but I don't think he's going to be ready. But yeah, I was really surprised nobody, wanted to really stranglehold in my boy Morrow right here and just said, trade me. Really surprised. We were talking about QB holders, and then everyone just started skipping QBs. So, it is what it is. He made out like a bandit right here. Got value. So, good pick right there. Great value. Number 1 GOAT, Chris Brazell. Yeah, I really like Chris Brazell. I had Skylar Bell over him. He still has to work. He's going to be opposite of McMillan. Maybe he could be the wide receiver 2 of that team. Do think Jalen Coker is going to take over that slot and intermediate route pretty easily, though. So, might just be sacrificial on the other side. Take the eyes off McMillan every now and then. But I did like Skylar Bell over him. Do like Chris Brazell over Malachi Fields, over Bryce Lance. So, good pick there. He took 3 receivers we see here. Are your receivers hurting? I really don't remember. We'll do a quick glance real quick. Neighbors, Thomas, Xavier Legette. Okay, that makes sense why you wanted Carolina. Pat Bryant, Noel, Denzel Boston, Brazil. Oh, it already had Godwin, Sutton, Metcalf, AJ Brown. Oh, you got a pretty good receiving core right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could still play Godwin probably. Thomas, Neighbors. I mean, you didn't really need wide receivers, but wide receivers do hold more value. Last longer, usually hit, even if they switch another team, they could still have a role, or better valued assets than running backs, taking a dart on a running back. But running backs do probably peak faster, usually, typically, and if they don't, then you just drop them. You got Chris Brazell right here. What if he is just like muddling, same as I just saw a name, Xavier Leggett. Like, do you ever want to drop Xavier Leggett? Probably not, because your team, some guy in your league is gonna take him, and you're gonna get mad. And all right, just give me a fourth for him. I'm like, I want to drop him anyway, but just I got to get something out of it, and that's how you always feel. And that's how you get stuck with these plotters, these roster cloggers, as we call them. And they just sit there, they get stuck. Obviously, Leggett was having some good games last season, but, I'm just talking in general. Now, Brazil could take his role. He could just be middling. He could be like the fifth receiver of his own team, switching in and out. Xavier Leggett, shoot. And then if he isn't, then I would think Brazil is the one who's get on the roster bubble, who's the wide receiver 4 or 5 on their own team, getting the rotations in. And now you're stuck with a plotter. You're stuck with the roster clogger. But that just is what it is. That's the philosophy of it. That's why I do tend to just have running backs higher, even though, I think I dropped them. I was holding on to Will Shipley for a minute. I was holding on to Vidal for a little longer than I should have, and then when I finally dropped them, obviously everyone got hurt on the Chargers, and then Vidal was good again. Who else was I holding? Dylan Labe. I was holding him for like a little longer than I should have, but they're usually 1 year cuts. The wide receivers, you're just like, they could be something. You see, I still have DJ Giddens on here. I'm probably gonna cut after this draft, or this draft is finished, so I'm probably gonna cut him. Like Trey Harris, he's probably gonna be like one of the roster cloggers for me, because he can't, could he take a role? Is his role even gonna be good? Is he give him 70% of snaps? Is he even gonna get targets? They don't even pass that much anyway. But I drafted so that's what a roster clogger is. Just fun fact, if you didn't know, that's the terminology, and you get stuck with them. All in all, 4-7, good pick. Only person I would have took is Skylar Bell, probably over, or I would have took Skylar Bell over him. It's all preference at this point. And also, if you wanted a running back, Kalen Black. Let's move on to 4-8 then. Max Clare, I thought he should have gone somewhere in the 3rd round. He's obviously he fell, and he's in a 5 tight end room right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams ran like tight ends on the field as wide receivers. If Devontae Adams needs a break, you got Puka on the field, you got Max Clare, you got Ferguson on the other side. Like, just line them up like actual wide receivers. I really would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if they had 4 tight ends on the field, and like not a running package, like a freaking everyone's running routes type of package. I don't even know what you would call that. Could they put all 5 of them on the field? Probably. They probably could. If anyone's gonna do it, it's the Rams. But tight ends, we always talk about it. I've been always saying it. Year 2, year 3 is when they break out. That's a great pick right there. I don't think he even needs it. Schultz, Claire, Meyer, Fannin, Andrews. So Fannin should hold you over. I know he took a dip, or he took a hit, with the NFL draft. Andrews, they did draft a few tight ends there, but in theory he should be better, because Isaiah Likely's gone. Coaching staff changed and everything. Maybe, he just becomes the automatic safety blanket to Lamar again. Maybe. Michael Mayer, he's a really good tight end, actually. It sucks that he's behind Brock Bowers, but Brock Bowers gets hurt. Sounds kind of dumb to have a handcuffed tight end, but they do put him on 2 tight end sets. He does have games. Brock Bowers gets hurt, he eats. I think his contract is up in 2027, so he might be able to land on another good team. Schultz, he is only as good as what Stroud gives him. So that was great value there. It's definitely the next best tight end I would have had on the board. But what would I have done? If I were you, I would have taken probably a receiver, right? You have decent enough running back. So running back there, I would have took, if you need a running back, I would have took Kalen Black. Decent on running backs. You don't really need that. I think a wide receiver there would have helped you, and it would have been Skylar Bell. You got a lot of receivers, but I feel like you can be stronger at wide receiver. Not that Skylar Bell would help, but the value. And maybe you have Skylar Bell on your team now. You could trade away maybe someone who's high on McMillan. We were high on McMillan. We were talking about it before. He should be a buy low. Jacoby Myers should be good. Michael Wilson. So there's a lot of guys you could probably package up to trade. Is probably what I would do. You have a lot of middling wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3s. Just having a bunch of them that helps your depth. But we only start. You could start like 5 of them at a time weekly. Max Clare, definitely the best value of it. Yeah, I think I'd take Max. Or I would take Max Clare over Skylar Bell. So great pick. That's a great pick. We worked it. We talked it through. Great pick. But Matt, he took, I don't know, is the undrafted free agent again, man. I don't know what's happening here. I don't think, I was like, I don't recognize his name from the draft, from draft day, when I reacted to all the picks. That's a sus one. I don't know what to tell you. Hit my line, man. I could have helped you. Skylar Bell, you could have sniped me, and then I could have took my boy Brennan Thompson. Could have took him. My 410 pick always hits, but I had to take Skylar Bell because he just looked better. look better on paper. Now I'm gonna get jacked on Brendan Thompson. This is great. One before, great pick. This one, horrible pick. You could have took Oscar Delp if you want to double down on tight end. Raridon, you want to take a shot on Caleb Douglas. You know, he was drafted before Chris Bell, actually. So maybe they value him more, maybe not. Bryce Lance, Kevin Coleman Jr., DJ Daniels, you know, any guy on the Rams. They scouted him pretty hard, did not. They've done any of those. Could have jacked Skyler Bell from me, Brenton Thompson. That one was an ugly one. That one was sus. This guy, Skyler Bell at the 410. This guy's amazing. This guy. You guys should listen to this guy, whoever this guy is. Jonah Coleman, 2-2. Nick Singleton, 2-4. Ted Hurst, 4-2. And he traded back from the 110. Heidenreich, Adam Randall, Skyler Bell. Great draft, no notes. Perfect team. So that's it for the draft, but we'll go over my Q list. These guys, you know, you can think of anything positive or good or anything about the roster structure of the team. You know, they're probably worth throwing on your taxi squad, throwing on your roster, as opposed to, let me just pull a random guy. I mean, I got random guys, you know, Shipley, gonna kick him. Probably Pat Bryan. Those plotters, those roster cloggers, Galen Lane, probably Justice Hill is probably a boot now. Well, all I meant to say with that was, you know, these guys should probably be rostered. They probably have a chance to have a value later on in the year, if anything. Should be probably, you know, worth the risk, worth the roster spot. Keelan Black, CMC goes down, he's probably the next guy, you know. I don't know why he wasn't drafted at all. I probably should have taken him right here, but I want to take Tyler Bell. Kevin Coleman Jr., you know, Miami took 3 wide receivers in the draft, along with Caleb Douglas, and Chris Bell, obviously. But if they just revamp the whole thing, you know, I did like Kevin Coleman Jr. I had him on my pre-draft list. I don't remember what I had ranked, probably someone in the 4th, but or my honorable mentions, but he was good. Bryce Lance, he was drafted before Darian Brown, I think. Athletic, yeah, it was good on the charts of the combine and stuff. Should definitely be on the team. Brendan Thompson, like I was saying. Tyreek Hill. Probably not Tyreek Hill, but your OC is hyping you up. You gotta do something, right? Caleb Douglas, like I was saying, he was drafted before Kevin Coleman Jr. He's drafted before Chris Bell, so he could have a chance of being like relevant on that team. Next tight end I have on the board would be Eli Raridon. I believe Hunter Henry's contract is up after this year, and they just might move on. Hey, maybe they just really like this guy. He's pretty good coming out. I don't remember if I had him on my pre-draft list, though. I'm not gonna lie. Check it out. Go back to the video. Check it out. Give me another view. It's cool. Oscar Delp, you know, no more Taysom Hill. Juwan Johnson Inc. I think he's still over there. Yeah. And Noah Font. But this is a good receiving tight end on, you know, high-powered offense. They run 2.2 plays per minute. Fastest in the NFL. And that was just last year. So they're probably getting to get even quicker this year, honestly. Justin Jolie. Joker role. Sean Payton, you know. I don't think they re-signed Evan Engram. Still a top depth chart, so maybe not. But, you know, year 2, year 3 breakout for tight ends. You know, they're supposed to just sit and marinate and get their values up. That's a pretty good tight end for them. It really fits their offensive scheme, actually. DJ Daniels, Rams know their wide receivers. They do a lot of research, a bunch of AI stuff. Better than the Niners one. They do, like, I don't think AI, I think I meant to say analytics. You know, they go through the analytics all crazy. So, you know, you're going to take a hit. You're going to take a dart throw on a wide receiver, one of these wide receivers. He's probably the one. The next Puka Nakua, you know. Seth McGowan, he's probably going to take over DJ Giddens' role. Most likely running back 3, yeah, I don't know. Really liked him. I thought he was going to get drafted to a team that wasn't going to automatically have him as a backup. Someone with like a fighting chance, maybe like a Washington or something. Definitely thought, but was wrong. But he probably beats out DJ Giddens. DJ Giddens got beat out by 2 different people last season after he was the handcuff for like the first couple weeks. Gator not really sad that he did not get drafted. And I'm really sad that he went to KC and they had just drafted Emmett Johnson in the 5th. If there was no Emmett Johnson there, I would have been really, really high on Jaden Nott. I think I had him at my 412 when I was saying that, but that was just me feeling myself. I think he can get a role in there. I think he can work his way up to running back 3, obviously, unless they get Kareem Hunt back on the list. He's probably going to be running back 4, special teamer type of dude. Coming back from a bunch of injuries, I think he could do it. Tough landing spot. Robert Henry, I liked him, and he lands with Washington, so he could work his way up, but they did spend draft capital on Katron Allen. But at this point, you know, day 3 running back and undrafted free agent are like, how different are they? You know, they're only 2, 3, 4 maybe rounds apart. These guys are cheaper. These guys are bodies. They don't care. You know, if Robert Henry is better than Katron Allen, they would let Robert Henry take all the hits. Let him take all the hits and get, you know, grind him to the bone. They don't really care. That's the position of running back for you. But Washington has a decently clear path. Obviously, I think Katron Allen is better than him. But, you know, maybe Robert Henry could take someone else's role. Maybe he could take Bill's role or something. and work his way into that committee. Roman Hemby, definitely, I liked him pre-draft. He was undrafted free agent, I believe, yep. And then he played with Mendoza, right, is what they're saying? Yeah. If they didn't take Mike Washington, would have really liked Roman Hemby here, even as an undrafted free agent, but you definitely think Mike Washington is better, so his best hope is a running back 3 on his own team behind Gency, behind Washington. Just pray for injuries, unfortunately. And at that point, sell high. Please sell high. Do not just sit on that. Sell high. Got my quarterbacks here. Klubnik, Geno Smith just sucks. He just gets a chance, Their line is a lot better than it was last year and everything. He has a chance. He has a chance to be a quarterback. QB hold a league. We went through this already. Taylor Green, come on, man. The Browns. Would it really surprise anyone if they had another starting QB for a game at least? A different starting QB at least. Would it really surprise anybody? Probably not. Cole Payton, I don't know if Philly can develop him. I can see Philly using him on tush pushes and play designs like that to not get Jalen Hurts hurt. But if Jalen Hurts goes down, Cole Payton does kind of play like him. Not really, but he's a runner first probably. I don't remember if he throws over the middle all crazy. Obviously Jalen Hurts is. That's what they nitpick him for a lot. But would have really liked him to go to Green Bay and have him just become a passer. And then, obviously he already had the running to begin with. Aaron Nussmeier, if he could beat out Justin Fields and Patrick Mahomes doesn't play the first week or first couple weeks, that's a W pick right there. That's a good waiver wire guy. 7th round pick in the NFL draft. That's what's up. Still has a chance to do something, Jam Miller, 7th round. Sucks that he came over here. They could turn just into a 3-back committee with Henderson, Ramondre, and Jam Miller. Jam Miller was a pretty good pass catcher, I believe. I don't remember if I'm mixing up. I remember in the mock draft I mixed him up with Jamar Taylor. But I did like him, so he could find a role there, but once again, it's probably similar to Roman Hemby, just injury related, and maybe he starts, maybe he gets the 2-down role. We'll see. Did like Desmond Reed for the draft. He could definitely work his way over Ray Davis. They do like Ray Davis, so maybe they just make a stupid 3-headed committee. Ray Davis on the goal line, between the 20s. Desmond Reed would relieve James Cook, maybe something like that. Maybe they don't, maybe they just value Ray Davis more on, special teams and stuff, and they're going to use Desmond Reed to relieve him. Maybe Reed doesn't even get a job. But you can see the path there. You can see what's up with that. Le'Veon Moss, he doesn't have too many obstacles in his way to get right behind Achane. I believe he's an undrafted free agent though, so you always got to take a grain of salt with those guys. But you could see it. If you could see something with them, they're probably worth holding. Bison, I really liked him, but he's invited to 3 rookie camps, did not get drafted. I forgot what his injury was, but Davian Thomas, high draft capital, but they might just use him as as a returner or something. Is what I've been seeing, but he was drafted pretty early, so let's see. Deion Burks, I believe he's coming back from an ACL, if I remember off the top of my head. But he's pretty good, worth it. 7th round. They lost Michael Pittman. Maybe he works his way onto the field. Benson, the Raiders did nothing with their wide receiver room besides him. I believe that was their only pick. So hey, maybe he works his way up that depth chart. Koziel, pretty good. I like him. 5th round. It just sucks that he went behind Brent Strange, but hey, maybe they run 2 tight end sets. Did draft this guy Nate Bower Kirker before him, and everyone's saying, hey, what if it's just another Hayden Hurst Mark Andrews situation? What if they got Brent Strange still in front of him? Did like him coming out of college. He's 6'7", 250. Could be something. Would not be surprised if he becomes the tight end 2, right behind, or works in tight end 2 sets with Brandon Strange. Michael Trigg, I was undrafted as well, right? Undrafted, and I was like, why didn't he get drafted? Thought he was one of the better tight ends, definitely what I thought. Now he's in a tight end room with, Ferguson, Shoemaker, Stanford. But, he was really good, really athletic. I think he has a chance. Injuries could 7th round. Probably, he's behind Gesicki. Gesicki old as hell. Could definitely take over. Has a chance, These guys all just have a chance. You could see something, some path with them. That's what I would do. Matthew Hibner, a tight end of the future. I remember seeing this guy getting drafted, and they're saying that he's going to replace Andrews or work beside Andrews until he takes over. They also drafted Cuevas, I think, but I think Hibner's a better tight end. I don't know. And Eric McAllister, he broke his foot at this pro day, and he's very not good with the media or something, and he's always in some controversy. So that with the broken foot definitely probably led to him not being drafted. Definitely had him getting drafted. Definitely had him as one of the higher tight end or wide receivers. That was very surprising. So maybe he's just really bad at interviews or something. I'm not really sure. That's it for the 4th round, though. I'll record right now to all these guys and their teams, and I'll try to do like a quick little rundown and probably click through, see whatever team, what their picks were, what they should have done in my eyes at least, and what they could have done. This guy right here, he's crying that he's not getting a shout out because he didn't have any picks. JT right here, literal zero picks, dude. Why does the board look like that? But maybe I'll go through all the teams and I'll see how long the recording is, and then if it's way too long or I go too in depth, I yap too much, I'll just make it another video for tomorrow or something. Y'all have to be entertained, man. Please let me know. I know a bunch of my boys, they're watching now, so don't be shy to leave comments. You could be roasting them or they could be roasting me. They could leave comments fighting with each other. That's cool, whatever you all want. It'll end up in the video, probably, hopefully, unless you guys say something that's too stupid, too crazy. The next video is going to be analyzing all the teams of my league right here, with their draft picks and what I would do with them, quick little tidbits and everything, trying to help their teams out because I'm trying to make this league better. I'm trying to have more fun, trying to get more competitive, all of the above, man. So stay tuned. And don't forget your daily dose of send that trade. Send it. Send it. That's it for today, though. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and remember, rebuilds fade, dynasties reign. Call me a lover boy, simp, Libra. It's more than love sick, I got a fever. Feelings overloading, not to be a diva. Standing 10 toes down, I'm not gonna leave you.